this video, I'm going to teach you how to use the impact driver. So in this case, I have many, as you can see here, I have Milwaukee, I have Rigid, I have Ryobi, and I have more Milwaukee and different brands, models, and everything. So as you can see, I want to teach you how to use one of them. So because all of them are kind of the same. I mean, they have different features, but basically they are made to put screws in here in the wood, or here on the metal, or in almost anything else. So here I'm going to show you how it works. For instance, if you have to put screws on the lumber or maybe on metal. So I have different surfaces here, so that way you can do everything. Also, I'm going to show you the differences between at least the brands that I have, but depending on what you want to use it for is the brand that you are going to buy. So if you also your budget, if you have unlimited amount of currency, you can buy whatever you want. In this case, I like the most is Milwaukee, the hydraulic, and later you have the mechanical one. So basically, if you're wondering, okay, should I buy just a regular drill or maybe an impact driver? It depends. I mean, if you want to make holes, you buy the drill. If you want to put screws fast without much effort, the impact driver is the tool for you. So in this case, I'm going to focusing in every aspect, every feature of the impact driver, so that way you know how it works. So basically, the impact driver it has this format that you see here, and then you have a few things. For instance, here where you put the bit. So that way, let's say that you want to put a screw or unscrew something. Also, you have paddles, you have different options. But here, in this case, we're going to talk about just to put screws, remove screws. So, for instance, in this case, here is where you have the bit holder. So in this case, you just put it like that, and that's it. So you can pull it from here like this, and it's not going to fall. And then you have another ones. For instance, here we have the rigid one. So if you want to pull it, you have to pull like this, and this will come out by itself, as you can see. And if you want to put it back, for instance, nothing happens. So in this case, you have to pull again, and then put it like this, and that's it. So it's different like this. This one, if you have it out, you just push it, and that's it, and it will stay locked. In this case, it's not like that. You have to move this out and then push it in, and that's it. And in this case, for instance, it has this eject system, as you can see. It's cool. And in this case, if you do the same thing with Milwaukee, nothing happens. If you don't pull it, it will not come out. So you have this difference. For instance, here we have Bosch. Bosch is basically the same. You have to pull, and then it will come out. And if you push it, it will not stay. You have to pull again, like that, put it in, and that's it. So, and if you pull like this, it will not come out like this. And I have the same thing with a Ryobi. So if you pull, nothing happens. And if you want to remove it, you have to pull, and that's it. So if you want to put it in, you have to pull again. So basically, each brand, each model, they have their own different things. So that is why I wanted to show you that. Another thing that you have here with the impact driver is the trigger. So if you wanted to spin to the right or to the left, you have this mechanism. So basically, besides you have the trigger, you have this button that you see here that it goes from one end to the other. So if you wanted to go to the right, with your hand like this, you push it like this, or the way you want it, so like this, all the way, and it will spin to the right. If you wanted to go to the left, because you have to remove the screw, you push it like this, and then it will go to the left, as you can see. And with the trigger, you can change the speed. So if you press very little, it will spin a little, and if you push harder, it will go faster. And another thing, if you push it just like this once instead of twice, so you see like that once, and it will stay in the middle. If it stays in the middle, even if you push, it will not spin, it will not do anything, as you can see here. And here If you put it in the middle, same thing, push, nothing. In this case, it will lock the trigger. In this case, it will lock the trigger as well. And if it's not completely in the middle, maybe it will not spin like you said, like you saw before. So in this case, same thing, put it in the middle. Here, same thing. You have to put it in the middle and it will stop. And another thing that I'm going to show you besides this is you have I told you this is just to change to turn it to the right, to the left, or to lock the trigger. Or if you want to change the speed in some of the impact driver, you have different speeds. For instance, here we have speed number 1, number 2, number 3, and then you have the auto. So in this case, it's auto. So depending on what you're doing, the computer that has inside, it will detect if you're trying to put the screw and it's too hard or something like that. It will change the speed to go faster, slower, or whatever is needed. So basically, that is the main features of the impact driver. So I'm going to show you here. For instance, here you have the bit holder. So let's say if you want to keep this in place because let's say you're working maybe with a flat screwdriver like this. I'm going to show you. Here I have the perfect example. Here we have flat. Just put it like that, and that's it. If you need, you can change this a bit without removing it from here. So this is an extension. So if you want to use an extension later, we may talk about extensions in another time. But at least in this case, if you want to change it, just pull, like I said before, pull this, and you remember that you have to pull it out so that way it will stay in place. And if you want the Phillips or any flathead or anything else, as you can see here, I have a lot of variety. So I have different heads depending on the star or the square one, or different sizes, or even Phillips ones. So depending on what you need is what you're going to use. So in this case, if you want to have two, one is the one that you're using, and the other one that is going to stay here, just in case if you have to change it, you put it just here. And then here you have the hook. So basically the hook, you can put it on the left or on the right, as you can see. It depends if you're left-handed or right-handed, and if you want to put it on your belt. So I'm going to show you, so that way you see. If you want to put it like that, you leave it like that, and that's it. So that way, if you have to use it, you can do it like that, or here, for instance. So usually you should have it like this. In this case, it's left-handed. So I grab it like that. That's it. Otherwise, you can put it like this. It's not going to be very comfortable because you see, you're going to grab it this way, but this is made to be used like this. If I don't like it, I can just switch this hook from one end to another one and put this here, and that's it. So very easy. If you have to do that, in this case, hopefully you can see here in the middle, you have a screw. You just remove the screw and then just change it from one end to the other one. As you can see here, you have the other screw, and that's it. So you change it depending on your preference. And here, for instance, you have something. Here you can put like a small belt or something like that if you have to grab it from that. Usually I never seen anybody using it like that. I think it's lanyard or something like that is called. So they put it just like this. In this case, you don't have any of that. If you have to remove the battery, you push just these buttons, as you can see here, and then you take it out, put it in, and that's it. So each brand is different, but I'm going to show you with another brands. For instance, we have right over here. It's different, as you can see, the mechanism. Here we have a button here on this side. Here we have another button, and same thing. You pull it, push it in, and that's it. If the battery is dead, this will not work, or it's going to run very slowly. So usually by pushing the button here on the battery, that's it. So as you can see, in this case, it has different options. So I'm going to show you. If you want to put the bit, you can put it here in the middle, as you can see. or you can just leave it here. It's magnetic. I don't know if it's very strong. I mean, if you shake it, maybe it will fall, but you have this is the option. Oh, you can put some screws here as well. Usually it's more for screws than anything else, but otherwise you can leave it like that. In this case, as you can see, you don't have the holes to put it on your belt. So I usually tools that are not made for professionals, you're not going to see these, or maybe if it's very old, maybe you're not going to see it. But most of the tools, they will have the option for that. Also, something that I forgot to mention is the light. As you can see here, we have the light in this on the bottom. I don't like much about the lights here. I prefer it more towards the driver's side. As you can see here, in this case, Milwaukee, it has it here. So you push, and usually it will stay on for a few seconds and it will turn off by itself. Here we have rigid, for instance, we have the same thing. So if you want the light, I like the light is here because it's just, in the right place where you're putting the screw or making the hole or anything like that. And here we have the other one. We have the Bosch. The Bosch, the light is over there. So for me, the winner is, like I said, is rigid, at least in this case. And as you can see in Bosch, you have this option that you push this here like that, just in the middle. It's just one finger and you can take it out. Here you have the options as well. If you want to put the screw, for the belt. In this case, it didn't come with any hook or anything like that. So that is a downside of this, at least in this tool, this model that I bought. And if you want to put the screws, the bit, for instance, I'm going to show you, for instance, in the back. For instance, in this case, you have it just like this. So this I like the most because this is not going to fall. I mean, you can grab it from here and not going anywhere. Also, you have here the lanyard. So if you want to have the belt that is going to be inside, and here with the rigid, you have the same thing. You have the screw, the holes to put the hook. I have the hook somewhere else, so maybe I'll put it later. But you have that option. You can put it here, and that's it. So at least that is the main function, the functions or features for this. And here, as you can see, you have the speed. Some of them they will have the speed. For instance, 1, 2, and 3. So as you can see, it's very, very fast. And in Bosch, it doesn't have there is no speed. It's just the speed will vary depending on the trigger, and that's it. So as you can see, that is the main thing. And I'm going to show you a little bit. So if you're wondering, okay, why don't I use maybe a drill instead? So if I want to remove the bit, I have to hold the choke. Okay, if you have to remove the drill bit, you have to hold the choke in place, as you can see, and it's kind of slow. So if you want to put it back, also the drill, they don't have much force. I mean, the strength is not as much as the drill impact driver. So I'm going to make a demo so that way you can see here. So what we are going to do, we're going to try to use the impact driver here. Also, you have in 12 volts and you have it in 18 volts. So basically, also another brand, you may have it like 24 volts cobalt, but basically they're all the same. So in this case, for instance, if you have to remove the battery, so it has this tiny battery, you just put it like this. And that's it. It's very compact. Here you have the belt. If you want to put it on your belt, it's like this. It doesn't have any bit holder or anything like that. So this is the more basic model. So we're going to try to put the screw here. So as you can see, we're going to put this like that. As you can see, all the noise that it's making, because inside the impact driver, it has some type of like a small hammers that when it spins, it will hit. So that way it will have more strength than the regular drill. So that is the main difference. If I remove it, you will hear all the mechanism working. And I'm going to show you the difference. For instance, with the hydraulic, like I said before, this is a model that is different than anything else. It doesn't make any noise, basically, almost. So I'm going to take it out. And if I want to put it, for instance, here, so the noise level is very, very low. If you compare it, you hear the noise, but it's not that as loud as the other one. So that is why I bought this, because if you're all day, every day using this, it might harm your ears over time. So now I'm going to show you putting a screw with this, for instance, with the drill. So I'm going to put this here. And you will see that you will not hear any noise or anything like that. So in another video, I'm going to talk about how to use a drill. But in this case, so the way you see, it's fast. It doesn't make any much noise, and it works. It depends. For instance, if you have a bigger screw, something like that, it's going to be more difficult. So I'm going to show you so the way you see. So I'm going to put this here. As you can see, I want to take it out, and it's not going anywhere. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to grab the same thing. So basically, so the way you know that is a fair competition with this. So both are 12 volts, and I bought it in a kit. So both are kind of the same thing, but in this one, as you can see, I'm going to be able to remove it without any issue. As you can see, it makes a lot of noise because that is the hammering system that I told you before, but it has a lot of strength. So that is a good thing that with this, you're not going to have it. Maybe, yes, you're going to see, well, what if I change the gears? Yes, if you change the gears, it's going to go slower. You're going to have the strength to do this, but it's something else. With this, it's just a small tool, and you can do almost everything. So that is why most people use this. Also, if you use the paddle and you have to make a hole, sometimes if you use the drill, you're going to see that the drill will start kicking, and then if you have a tight space, like a drywall or something like that, you may break the wall. So that is why the impact driver is very important, at least for this. And I'm going to show you something else. So that way, you can use it for metal. So that is why I have this old refrigerator door here. I'm going to grab, so with this, you see, because in this case, I'm using the automatic. Usually the automatic, it will prevent from stripping the hole. But in this case, it didn't work. Sometimes it works or not when you use the automatic. That is why, if you have to do something like that and you're not sure, just use the speed number 1. You see, it goes slower, but you have a little bit more of control, and you can stop maybe at the right spot. And maybe you can do the same thing here. And it will stay there. So if you don't want it to go all the way in, you can use that. Let's see with the auto how far it goes. If you have, usually when it detects a lot of pressure, it will try to stop. You see, in this case, I'm using auto, and I have the trigger all the way, and it will start going slow. In the beginning, it will go fast, but later it's going to go slower. You see? It's all the way, and it doesn't keep going, so it will stay, the screw will stay there. If I have to remove it, go fast, and when I need it, it will stop. So it has a like small computer, so it will change automatically. So basically that is the main difference before with the drill and impact driver. So at least in this case, I was able to teach you everything that you need to know about how to use this type of tool. Remember to charge them all the way. And if you are in a place that is very hot, or if you're using the tool a lot, you may have some issues that the battery will start overheating or something like that. Usually it happens with very, like a chainsaw or something like that. With this type of tool, usually you don't have that type of issue, but if you have that issue, you know what is about. So basically that is all for this class, and if you have any question, please let me know. Also, if you need any tool, I am in US. If you want me to send you some tool to your country, let me know. Or if you're in US, I'll leave you the link so that way you can buy yourself, and see you next class. Bye.